The conductor's song died with a whisper that felt like the universe holding its breath. Kael felt her consciousness flicker through the fragment network, not extinguished, but transformed into something barely recognizable as human. She had woven herself into the dimensional barrier's quantum structure so completely that separating her would collapse the entire membrane. She became the song itself. 36 minutes until Hallam reaches primary breach coordinates, Elena's voice crackled through comms. Whatever we're doing, we need to move now. Kael pushed himself upright, triple fragment awareness painting the tactical situation in stark clarity. Hallam's transport was already crossing the continental divide, carrying Fragment 4 and enough stolen abilities to rewrite reality at the subatomic level. Behind her, 2 escort fighters maintained formation, their weapon systems charged with crystallized signal energy. Around him, his team gathered with desperate efficiency. Ghost materialized from Shadow Phase, her partially restored abilities flickering with residual damage. I can scout ahead, but my phasing still glitched. Might phase into solid rock by accident. The mirror bearer stood beside her, Fragment 5's integration having stabilized at 73% after yesterday's crisis. His reflection powers let him copy abilities at touch range, but carrying only 1 fragment left him vulnerable compared to Kael's triple consciousness burden. I'll maintain rear guard, Mirror said, his voice carrying harmonic echoes. If core reinforcements follow us, I can delay them. Sable checked her equipment with military precision, hard light projector secured to tactical webbing. Her constructs blazed steady now that the conductor's sacrifice had stabilized local dimensional integrity. Yellowstone's 800 kilometers. Even pushing our vehicles to maximum, we won't beat Hallam there. Unless we don't take vehicles. Through Fragment 7's enhanced perception, Kael touched the dimensional membrane that the conductor now embodied. Her consciousness responded with mathematical harmonics, still present, still capable of limited manipulation, but dispersed across quantum frequencies that barely maintained coherence. She could fold space. Create a corridor between here and the primary fracture site. But the cost. The conductor can open a dimensional tunnel, he said, his voice carrying harmonics from triple fragment integration. Direct passage to Yellowstone. But it would burn through whatever's left of her consciousness completely. The team exchanged looks weighted with terrible mathematics. How many more sacrifices could they ask for? How many more friends would they burn through before this ended? Ren's voice emerged from the communication array, transmitted from his mobile laboratory 3 levels above. I'm tracking seismic activity around the caldera. Something's destabilizing the geological foundation, probably precursor effects from dimensional stress. The primary fracture site isn't just where the first breach opened. It's where reality is naturally thinnest. Through the fragment network, Kael felt the conductor's dispersed consciousness considering their request. Mathematical harmonics touched his awareness, probability cascades, energy requirements, survival calculations. She would do it. Despite everything it would cost. There's another way, Ghost said suddenly, her damaged phasing abilities flickering as she accessed partial memories. I've been to Yellowstone. Before the fracture, before everything changed. I know the terrain, the approach vectors. If we can get close enough. A new voice interrupted through comms, Elena's tactical frequency carrying urgent updates. Core orbital platforms are moving into bombardment position. 3 destroyers, full signal suppression arrays. They're not just backing up Hallam. They're preparing to glass the entire region after she finishes. Complete sterilization. No witnesses, no survivors, no evidence. The scope of Hallam's plan crystallized through Fragment 7's enhanced analysis. She would use Fragment 4 to shatter the primary barrier, then evacuate through dimensional corridors while orbital bombardment eliminated anyone who might interfere with her escape to parallel realities. Earth would die, but she would survive to rule infinite versions that never faced the eraser's hunger. Kael made the decision with alien clarity, triple fragment consciousness calculating probabilities faster than human thought could follow. Conductor, open the tunnel. Ghost, your point navigation. Sable, mirror, with me. Ren coordinates from here. He paused, feeling the weight of accumulated sacrifices pressing against his enhanced awareness. Elena, get every resonant you can find to the convergence point. When we stop Hallam, we'll need every fragment bearer on Earth for what comes next. The dimensional tunnel opened like reality tearing itself apart, a corridor of twisted space that bypassed normal distance through mathematical impossibility. Through it, Kael glimpsed their destination, a crater the size of a city where 48 years ago, 7 alien refugees had crashed into Earth's reality while fleeing something that consumed entire dimensions. They stepped through as the conductor's final consciousness dissolved into quantum harmonics. On the other side, the landscape had gone completely alien. Trees grew in spiral patterns that hurt to perceive directly. The sky rippled with colors that existed in no human spectrum. And at the crater's center, a curtain of shimmering light marked where the dimensional barrier had worn tissue thin. Director Hallam was already there, Fragment 4 blazing in her artificial grasp as she positioned massive reality-shaping devices around the primary breach point. And pressing against the barrier from the other side, a void face the size of a mountain watched with patience that had devoured stars. The eraser had been waiting for her all along.